Hiya, so this is just lunch. This is pasta from yesterday. So there's 2 sins in here. One for the olives, one for the sausage. So there's 2 sins plus I'm going to say 7 sins for the avocado, the half avocado there, because it was around 80 grams but it still had the skin on. So I think I'm going to go 7 sins for that. So there's 9 sins here. I've had my porridge this morning, which was 1 healthy extra plus 4 sins. So 9, that's right, isn't it? 9 plus 4 is 13 sins. So it's 13 sins today, plus 1 healthy extra, plus 1 healthy extra A and 1 healthy extra B. The healthy extra A is my almond milk. Alright, see you in a bit. Hiya, just having an apple. Hiya. Sorry, that was a noise. Basically, just had a major unexpected bill. It's paid for and everything is all dealt with. And luckily, we just sold something recently that was allow us to pay for it. But it's like proper scary when you have like these moments where you're like, oh, my life is gonna fall apart. So those moments make me nervous and I don't want to eat. But I'm just trying to calm down as fast as possible so I can have my evening meal. I know it's, you know, these things in life are, the better we can get at dealing with them means we can be better people. And the more confident we are with dealing with money issues is the best way of doing things. It's just shocking. So, and scary, I think. Scary. So I'm going to sit and eat I'm going to do some curry and rice, which I've made this evening, yesterday. So see you in a bit. Okay, so I'm going to have this curry and rice. So I've got rice. This is what I made all yesterday evening, so that it would be ready for me when I got back, which I'm incredibly grateful for. I've got, in my curry, I've got carrots, cauliflower, peas, sweet potatoes, spinach, lentils, onion. I've got, I can't think of many other things that I've got in there. Yeah, and obviously just the curry powder and a stock cube and obviously chopped tomatoes. Alright, I'm going to sit and enjoy this. I'm feeling a little calmer, but still feel pretty scared. But we'll see how this goes in terms of how I feel, whether I want to eat over it or whether I'm just feeling scared. Okay, I'm going to sit and watch Debbie SW's. Whoops, you alright? You managed? Well done. Debbie SW's latest upload. Okay, and untangle my son from a chair. He's out trapped. Okay, see you in a bit. Hello, I am struggling a little bit. I am 1.5 sins for a date, which will be my sins for the day. I'll be like 14.5 sins, so that's enough. I've got 1 healthy extra to eat, which I'll have a think about whether I want 6 apricots or whether to have. I might have a bit of apricots plus some pecans, which is probably about 5 pecans and 3 apricots. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Alright, see you in a bit. I'm going to make myself a hot drink, I think, as well. See you in a bit. Hiya, so here I am again, at the end of the day, just swapping over the clothes. So that was a tough one for me. I really struggled this evening. I struggled because I felt I wanted to escape. I wanted to distract myself. I didn't want to engage with what I had to do in life, you know, sort of like suddenly fearful of being an adult, fearful of the responsibilities of being an adult, fearful of, and I just wanted to hide away. I wanted to escape. I didn't want to have to deal with anything. And I think that's why I used to eat. So eating over things allowed me to escape the situation. It would allow me to be irresponsible in a scenario, if you know what I mean. It would allow me to, you know, because I was being irresponsible, I wasn't looking after myself. I was being like childlike in terms of kind of having instant gratification, because I think that's a lot of what an adult is, isn't it? An adult is learning about how to delay your gratification. You plan and you prepare so that you can have food on the table. That's part of what being an adult is. And I think, and I could tell this evening I wanted to escape. I kept finding kind of excuses not to do things. I was procrastinating. I was trying to desperately find myself a place in which I could stay in. You know, sort of not necessarily taking all of my obligations that I should have probably done. You know, nothing major, but you know, being a little bit later and helping the children than probably I would have done normally. Just a little bit selfish, and I think, you know, food being a kind of a way to rebel against being responsible, I think. And it's hard because the bill that I received was due to me not having paid a previous bill, so it was like extra money on top, and I was sure I'd paid this other bill. I was absolutely certain I had, so therefore I'd put it on my memory, and I hadn't, obviously. So it sort of make me feel a little bit stupid, make me feel a little bit that I did something that I couldn't really fix, and well, I could fix because obviously I paid the bill, but it's like the bill wouldn't have been as big. But you know, these things happen, life happens, we move on. We have to, as an adult, we have to deal with financial problems, and I am not going to make my life any easier or any more pleasurable by feeding my emotions away, like just by distracting myself by eating. I am in fact going to help myself by eating well and filling myself full of good food and hydrating well. So I found it tough this evening. A couple of bits in terms of, I'd made the kids these kind of, they're like scones, but they're like with oats, so they're sort of margarine, sugar, it was like a brown sugar, like a dark molasses sugar, and some flour and some oats, and kind of made these kind of scone things. And obviously they kind of split them out and put margarine on. And sultanas in there, and I didn't want to eat them, but I did want to eat them. I didn't want to eat it because there's a bit of my brain now where I feel like that's not what I eat. So I've sort of put it in the same bracket as meat and fish. I don't eat those. It's not something I ever want to eat. It's not something I do eat, and I never have a desire of, oh, I want to eat that. It's not something I get. So I'm trying to put sugar in the same bracket. I'm trying to put it in that bracket where I just don't eat that. And I didn't eat it. Didn't eat the stuff tonight. I enjoyed my apricots and my pecans. That was very useful. But I don't know whether there's a bit of me making the scones so that I might eat them, or, you know, I don't know why. Again, sometimes we put ourselves in a situation that we might fail, so that, you know, we can find it easier. I'm not sure on that. but they smell good, and I probably spent a little bit too much weird time smelling them, I must admit, but I didn't eat them. And I don't know, again there's a bit of me that goes, well why, well I know full well today why I wouldn't have done it, because I had 14.5 sins, so I wouldn't have had the sins to do it, so I didn't really want to for that part. But I do wonder if, excuse me, if I had have had the sins available, say for example I hadn't had used any of my sins, then I might have, a bit of me tried to work out to see if I could have one, if you know what I mean. So in a weird way, that's also why I appreciate having the porridge in the morning that uses up 4 of my sins already, because it's almost like the sins have already been taken away a bit of, so I don't have 15 sins setting at the end of the day where I can go, right, what can I have for my 15 sins? It's so, in a way I feel bad because I'm having them all taken away from me in the beginning of the day. Like today, for instance, was a little bit nerve-wracking because I'd hit my avocado and everything like that. I'd already hit 13 sins before I'd even got home, and I was a bit like, what am I gonna do? But the point is now I don't need those sins to be available to be able to have chocolate and crisps and such things like that. And I don't, I was going to say like bread and margarine, but I never used to sin that. This just used to be a binge scenario, whereas I did used to sin chocolate and crisps. Spell out the thing. So it made me nervous, but in a kind of a not realistic nervousness, like in the past nervousness, like I was habitually nervous instead of realistically nervous. But that was a tough one. But I feel like I'm over it now. I tried my best not to use willpower over it. I really, because I didn't want to say to myself, no, I'm not having it, in terms of no, I can't have it. I've chosen, I wanted more to say to myself, that's not what you've chosen, that's not what you've decided. You not that I would break a promise to myself, but that it's not my choice now. I have gained so much freedom from taking sugar out of my diet. And as Jane Day always says, I'm not suggesting that you have to do this. This is just the way I live my life right now. I just felt swirled around by the cravings, like for instance this evening. So this evening I had quite a bit of craving levels, and that would pretty much happen every day. That would happen every single day, where I have a bit like, and obviously I gave into them every single day. A little bit of me just went, I could really do with that, and at no point did I say I didn't really want to do that. I just ate it, and that's what I did. Whereas today I made the choice to carry on my sugar-free lifestyle because it gives me freedom. It's given me almost nearly, I can't remember when I first sort of did it. But ever since I've been vlogging, I haven't kind of gone off plan, as it were. And I've had so many craving-free days. It's been wonderful. I mean, today was tough. I will admit that was very tough. And I didn't want to, it wasn't that I wanted to ruin my streak in terms of having been on plan for so long. It wasn't that I didn't want to feel guilty, because I wouldn't have felt guilty about doing it. It was just because and it wasn't necessarily because I didn't want to ruin all my hard work, because it hasn't been hard work, it's just practicing living better for myself. It was just the fact that I just didn't want to go through the whirlwind of sugar again. And so I made the choices not to, because I just didn't want to do it again. I've already done it once, and I'm okay. And if I can now carry on doing this for you know, a month or more, then it might get easier and easier and easier, and my body will get the opportunity to build in new habits and new thought processes and new ways to cope. Because at the moment, I hadn't given my body opportunity to find different ways. I mean, I was trying to find different ways in terms of, you know, something that wasn't related to bubble bath time, and I've thought about mindfulness and taking a minute out. But the thing is that through still eating and through still binge eating and through still eating sugar and eating things with high bliss points so that I would be able to distract myself, I wasn't allowing my brain opportunity to develop new skills. So I'm hoping over the next couple of months that my brain will really start to develop some wonderful new skills, which allows me to experience difficulties in my life, but my brain will naturally find ways to help me cope that aren't just distract and sort of block. So I'm hoping that will start to happen. Yeah, tiring though. So I'm gonna put this across here, and all I've got to do is empty the water now and then press the go button, and then that'll be, oh, there's a bit more in there. The work shirt, don't want to forget washing the work shirt. Or drying the work shirt. Yeah, so today I've had, sorry about the rant. So sometimes really useful just get it all out and have some sort of record of what I was feeling and when I was feeling it, if you know what I mean. Because these are things that are new to me right now, to be able to really figure out what I actually feel about my situation and to really analyse it in some great depth, so I can really start to understand and hopefully get some freedom in my life and freedom in my own head. So today I've had 2 healthy extra bees, which I used on porridge, on my oats, apricots and pecans. I have had 1 healthy extra A, which was my almond milk. I have had 14.5 sins broken up into some porridge, which was the porridge I had, which had 4 sins in it. I had 2 sins in my pasta. Then I added another 7 sins, my avocado, which would be 7 plus 6 is 13. And then I had 1 date, which is 1.5 sins, which would be 14.5 sins. So I've had 14.5 sins, 2 healthy extra B's and 1 healthy extra A. Okay guys, I'm going to press this button and then I'm going to go to sleep. Lots of love everyone, thanks so much for being so supportive. See you soon, bye.